We'll begin in a seated position like we usually do, just so we can kind of check in with ourselves. So I want you to just settle in to a straight, aligned, seated position. Make sure your shoulders feel relaxed, your neck feels relaxed. Head is balanced on top of the spine. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. Just kind of settle into our skin for a moment. Notice how every part of you feels. It's a new day, so you never know what's going on in your body until you actually pay attention. And then let's start some nice, deep, slow Ujjayi breathing. We're gonna really wanna maintain an Ujjayi breath through practice today. Check in with any emotions you're feeling, noticing perhaps the thoughts that are creating the emotions, noticing what your energy feels like, noticing if you feel connected, and if so, how connected. Really just kind of taking stock of everything in this moment, and then use that information to set your intention. Bring palms together in front of the heart and be very clear about what you intend for your practice and perhaps for the day ahead. When you're very clear on that, take an extra deep breath in. Big exhale through the mouth. And we're going to come to standing at the front of the mat. I'd like you to just go ahead and find a nice rooted mountain pose, Tadasana. So really connecting down to the floor, feeling your feet, letting all of the muscles engage. So you let energy start to run up from the floor through your body, and it's not the muscles tensing and tightening, but they're energizing and engaging. I like to think of it as your muscles kind of hugging your bones. So just feel that for a moment. Let some energy run through the fingertips. Feel your spine become straight and elongated. Feel your core start to wake up and engage. Take one more breath here. And we're going to take a huge inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, spread the fingers, lift the heart. If it's all right with your neck, look up. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths, just opening up the front side of the body. It's kind of like a good morning stretch. And then on your next exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, hang in ragdoll. Make sure your neck is relaxed. You want your head to just kind of dangle at the end of the spine. And you want the knees slightly bent because we're trying to get the torso to get relatively close to vertical so that the weight of the head can lengthen the spine. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Really connect to your breath. On your next inhale, come all the way up. And as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale back down. We're going to step back with the left foot. I'd like you to just hold your lunge for a moment. Drop your left knee down. Take your right hand to the inside of the right knee. Roll into the outside edge of your right foot and just gently press that right leg open. So we're just going to kind of warm up the body a little bit. Having some slightly cooler temperatures so we give our body time to respond. Go ahead and fully extend your right leg now. Getting into the right hamstring. Just getting some sensation there. If you can, you want to flex the ankle and toes. And then we're going to bend the right knee, bring the arms up and overhead, tilt the pelvis back slightly and allow the whole pelvic girdle to move forward. So we're trying to get some opening on the front of the left hip. Every breath you're making tiny adjustments so that you're getting the optimum amount of sensation. Not too much, not too little, just right. You're focusing on what you're feeling. You're focusing on your breath. And then we're going to bring the hands down, step back to plank position. So we're going to go ahead and do a modified vinyasa because we're going to be playing with some of this later on. So if you're in a perfect plank, the hands and feet don't move from where they are. The knees drop down, your toes are still turned under and in contact with the floor. You shift forward slightly, and I'd like you to bring your chest and your forehead to the mat. So it's a posture of humility. This is 7-limbed staff. We're going to untuck the toes, flatten out, and just lift the chest up a little bit for a baby cobra. And you can pull forward at the same time to get that same lengthening as you get in Sphinx if you want to. And then turn the toes under and take your first downward facing dog. And if you need to move a little bit here, that's okay. After you do, if you do, then try and find some stillness. Then we'll take a big step forward with our left foot. Hold the lunge for a couple of breaths here, just like we did on our right side. And then go ahead and drop your right knee down, bring your left hand to the inside of the left knee, roll into the outside edge of your left foot, and go ahead and gently press left leg open. And then extend left leg. Let's say hello to the left hamstring. Remember, stay connected to your breathing. Left knee bends, arms come up and overhead. We tilt the pelvis back, which is the same thing as kind of slightly tightening the muscles at the base of your right buttock so that you can cause a reflex release on the front of the right hip. That's where we want to feel sensation. We want to stay present with it and stay present with the breath. Hands come down, step forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. So today we're going to play with a lot of different variations on sun salutations. Yay! So this week we have a full moon coming up. And as you know, we counteract energy to create balance. Yoga is always about balance. So these are some more solar moves. And it's also good to help generate heat and a great way to start the week. So we're going to begin with the Shivananda style. And your hands are going to stay down on these, and it's that modified vinyasa, and then we'll start moving from there. So you're going to start in Tadasana with the hands down. And then we inhale and bring palms together and then raise up. Exhale, fold forward. On this one, you do the half forward bend. So inhale, look up and lengthen. And then exhale, step back with your left leg, drop the knee down, and just pull your chest forward. Hands stay down. This is the Shivananda style. Sun salutations are very much about humility and reverence. So this is kind of like genuflecting or kneeling. From here, we step back to plank. We drop down knees, chest, and forehead like we did earlier. Untuck the toes, come into a cobra, and then downward facing dog. We step the left foot forward, drop the right knee down, and just pull the chest forward. Good. And then stepping forward to a standing forward bend. We inhale and reach the arms up and overhead. And we exhale and we bring our hands by our sides. So it's slightly different. We're gonna do that a couple more times. So inhale, palms together and then lifting up. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step back with your left leg, drop the knee, chest pulls forward. Inhale into plank. Exhale, drop down knees, chest, and forehead. Come into your low cobra, or it can be a higher cobra now if you're feeling warmer, and then downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, we drop the right knee down and pull the chest forward. Good, and then step to the front of the mat, standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, bring them to your sides. Palms together, reaching up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, half forward bend. Exhale, back with the left leg, drop the knee, heart pulls forward. Step it back to plank, knees, chest, and forehead. Untuck the toes, cobra. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, drop your right knee. Hands stay down, heart pulls forward. Step to the front of the mat, standing forward bend. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your sides. So that's 3 Shivananda sun sals. So now we're gonna do the more really true traditional, I mean, those are actually true traditional too, don't get me wrong, but the oldest form of, which is the 12 movements. I think most of you guys have done these with me before. We'll start with our palms together. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Step back with your left foot. And then step to downward facing dog. Shift into plank. If you like Chaturanga Dandasana, you can start doing that here, but you may stick with the modified. You can come into an upward facing dog if you like that, or you can stick with cobra. And then downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. And then right foot steps forward. We inhale the arms up. And exhale, palms together. We're gonna do a couple more of those. Let's move with the breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, right foot forward to your forward bend. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, palms together. One more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg back. Downward facing dog. plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left foot forward, right foot forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Now we're going to move into some Ashtanga sun salutations. Yay! So salutation A is basically what a vinyasa is. And we hold the down dog for 5 breaths. However, if you're able, and you're always going to modify if you need to, if you're able, from our half forward bend, we skip a breath. We go from that straight to chaturanga. You can either walk or jump back, but you'll be missing a little bit of transition time. And instead of palms together in front of the heart, we start in samasthiti, which is with the hands by the sides, coming into a nice strong Tadasana. Here we go. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And in this next exhale, you are lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we hold now for 5 breaths. And I want you to really engage Uddiyana Bandha, which means you're kind of pulling your navel in, and your breath should be a little faster, a little louder, because you're keeping that navel pulled in. On your next inhale, you either step or jump forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, full forward bend. Inhale all the way up, arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands by your sides. All right, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, jump back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and hold. On your next inhale, if you're feeling perky, jump forward, half forward bend. Exhale, full forward bend. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, samasthiti. One more time, inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, jump or walk back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and hold. Focus on your breathing. On your next inhale, you can either walk or jump forward to that half forward bend. Exhale, full forward bend. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, samasthiti. All right, we are getting warmed up. So you have done sun salutations in the Shivananda tradition. You have done sun salutations in the really ancient tradition, in the Hatha tradition. You've done sun salutation A from Ashtanga, and we're just going to rock it with sun salutation B from Ashtanga. So just as a reminder, we throw in Utkatasana, which is powerful or victorious pose, frequently called chair pose. And we also throw in a very rapid warrior 1 on each side. We're gonna do the first one slow though, so that you get the sequence. So you begin in Samasthiti. We're gonna inhale, arms are up, tailbone down and back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left foot flat. Warrior one. Now I'm gonna let you hold this for a couple of breaths here and kind of wrap your head around this, because we would get into this on an inhale and be back out of it and into Chaturanga on an exhale. So it's fast, right? So here we go. On your next exhale, hands are down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right foot flat, coming up with your warrior one. So again, remember, about the time you hit it, you're heading back out of it to get into Chaturanga Dandasana on your exhale. So this is your only slow round of this. On your next exhale, go ahead and hit Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down. Coming into upward facing dog on your inhale, and downward facing dog on your exhale. And this one, just like in Salutation A, we hold it for 5 nice Ujjayi breaths. So on your next inhale, you either walk or jump forward to that half forward bend. Exhale, full forward bend. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands by sides. All right, we got 2 more rounds of this, flowing with the breath. Do your best, have some fun, generate some heat and some solar power in Salutation B. So we begin Samasthiti. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, walk or jump back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Hold it. Inhale, walk or jump forward, half forward bend. Exhale, full forward bend. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, Samasthiti. Last one, inhale. Drop your tailbone, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, walk or jump back, lower down. Inhale into upward facing dog, and exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into your up dog. Exhale into your down dog. Inhale, left foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Hold this one. On your next inhale, you're at the front of the mat in a half forward bend. As you exhale, full forward bend. As you inhale, Utkatasana. And as you exhale, Samastitihi. Nice job, you guys. You have done 12 sun salutations, which is a very auspicious number. You just did 3 of 4 different kinds, and you should feel warm in your breath, and your blood and your prana are all flowing. So let's inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, back down. Step back with your left foot, spin the heel flat, come into warrior 2. And then take your left hand on your left thigh, reach that right arm up and over. So we're just reversing our warrior. Come all the way up. Take your right hand to the floor inside your right foot, left hand up and over for side angle. Parsvakonasana. Take the left hand back towards the ceiling. See what it feels like to just begin straightening your right leg for triangle. Now you may need to slide up the shin, and if that's the case, please do so. Otherwise, keep your right hand on the ground. From here, we're going to bring the left hand down. I'd like you to adjust your feet if you need to and transition into a revolved triangle. Left hand is on the right foot or shin or outside of the foot. Spine is lengthening and we're taking right hand towards the ceiling. And then you should have the feet in the correct position to just bend your right knee and come up and be in warrior 1. And then from warrior 1, we take the hands to the mat, step it back to plank, take the vinyasa of your choice, or if you need to, take a rest. Left foot steps forward. Right heel flat, warrior 2. Right hand on your right thigh, left arm up and over, reverse your warrior. And then coming up from that, taking your left hand to the ground, inside the left foot if you can, right hand up and over for side angle. And then just see what it feels like to maybe take the right hand back up towards the ceiling and just straighten the left leg. Can you get into triangle from here? And if you need to slide up the shin, please do so. Just readjust however you need to. We're going to go ahead and bring the right hand down. Adjust the feet slightly if you need to. Take your right hand to your left shin, foot, or outside of it. And come into your revolved triangle, taking left hand towards the ceiling. You should be in position to bend your left knee and just come up, warrior 1. And then we'll take the hands down, step it back to plank, and flow through a vinyasa. So from this downward facing dog, take your right leg straight behind you, 3-legged dog. On your next exhale, take your right knee towards your nose and your nose towards your knee. Inhale your right leg back out. As you exhale, take your right knee towards your right armpit. Inhale it back out. And then as you exhale, take your right knee towards your left armpit. Inhale it back out. And then put your right foot back down. Inhale, left leg goes back. Hold that for a moment, 3-legged dog. On your next exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend that left leg back out. Exhale, left knee to left armpit. Inhale that leg back out, and then exhale, left knee to right armpit. Inhale that leg back out, and then put your left leg back down. Press those hips up and back, and then drop to your knees, and arching around a couple of times in cat-cow. And then we're just going to take this into a modified side plank to open up the chest. And then if you're feeling it, you can go full side plank. But what I'd like for you to do is just kick your right foot out to the right so you have a kickstand. Left leg extends with your left foot flat. Left hand reaches for the ceiling, and what I'd like you to do is really roll your heart open towards the ceiling. So you want to feel this on the front of your chest. Now, if you're feeling like you'd like to, take your left hand back up towards the ceiling and take your right leg off the floor. Flex your feet and stack them. So this is full Vasisthasana. From here, you can transition into downward facing dog. And stretch. And then drop back down to your knees again. Couple of cat-cow stretches. Inhaling to arch. Exhaling to round. And then we do that modified side plank on the left. So your left foot kicks out. Right leg extends with your right foot flat. Right hand reaches for the ceiling. And then you just kind of try and rotate your torso open, like you're trying to get your sternum to face the ceiling. If you feel like you want to, right hand goes up towards the ceiling, left knee comes off the floor, we flex the feet and stack them. Your right foot is on top of your left foot. And then transition back into downward facing dog, press it back and stretch. And then from here, we shift into plank and take our final vinyasa for this practice. Really take advantage of downward facing dog to lengthen your spine, to stretch out the hamstrings and calves, to open the back, to open the heart. And then you can either walk or jump forward and have a seat with your legs extended. So we'll just take a moment in Dandasana and check in. So you want to find your sit bones, activate the legs. Remember, active, engaged muscles, not tense. Hands can be right behind you or they can be on your thighs if your spine is straight. Let your head balance on top of your spine and just take a moment, check in. So at the beginning of practice, we check in. This is kind of a midpoint or slightly past the midpoint check-in. How is your body feeling? Are you still connected to your breathing? Notice any emotions and any thoughts that have helped create them. Notice your energy. And maybe come back to your intention that you set at the beginning of practice. And then let's go ahead and inhale and reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, just lengthen your abdomen out over your legs, grabbing whatever you can comfortably reach. It doesn't matter if it's your knees, your calves, your ankles, or your feet. And then make sure that your shoulders are relaxed down the back and that you're still kind of pulling your chest forward. So we're keeping the spine lengthened here and not overstretching low back. Couple more breaths. And then go ahead and come on up from that. Bend your knees, grab behind the thighs, lift the chest, lift your feet, extend your arms. Now, if this is it for you, this is great. Just keep your heart lifted. You want a straight spine. If you feel like you can, extend your legs. So this is Navasana, boat pose. Go ahead and let your legs come back down. We're going to keep the right leg straight. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Extend out over your right leg now and just stretch. And on this one, if you want to round down a little bit, kind of curve, you're welcome to do that. Trust your body to take you into the right position. Wherever your hands are, they're in the perfect place, so leave them there. Keep your right leg straight and raise it up. Once you get your right leg into the air, lift your chest. You want a straight spine like we had for Navasana, boat pose. Try and keep your right leg straight. And then if you need to, you can even bend the elbows and pull the leg a little closer to you to feel a stretch. You don't have to, but you can. So coming into just a modified variation of Kranchasana, heron pose. Take one more breath. And then we're going to take this right foot that's up in the air and bring it outside the left knee or thigh and get that right foot flat. And we'll just come into a twist. You're going to reach around behind you with your right arm. Try and have a straight spine. You can either hug the right leg with your left arm, or you're welcome to bring that left arm outside the right knee or thigh. Spine is straight, shoulders are relaxed, and you're twisting to the right. If you can, even let your eyes turn to the right. One more breath here. Nice. As we unwind, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Begin with your hands right behind you. Push into the floor, same straight spine. The knees press out to the side, and then very strongly reach down for the floor. So variation on Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. Now, if you can maintain this, I would love for you to do that, but reach down and put your hands on your feet. So you've got 4 fingers on the top of each foot. Your thumb should be right underneath the ball of each foot. Spine is still straight, knees are pressing out and down. If it feels okay with your ankles, you're gonna actually open your feet up as though they're the pages of a book. So you're kind of rotating the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Take one more breath here. Let the soles of the feet come back together. If it feels okay for you, put your hands on the mat in front of your feet. Slowly walk your arms forward and allow your body to simply drape. Only if it feels good for you. Walk your hands back up. Extend your left leg. Let your right foot come to the inside of the left thigh. And now you're just going to lean out over your left leg, however it feels good to you. And wherever your hands are is the perfect place. Keep them there. We're going to raise, pardon me, the left leg up. Straight leg. Lift the chest. If you need to, bend the elbows to pull your leg towards you a little bit. As we prepare to put our left foot down, remember we're going to put it outside the right knee or thigh so that we can come into a nice deep twist. Spine is straight. Left arm is going to reach around behind us. You can either hug your left knee with your right arm, or you can bring that right arm outside of your left knee or thigh, and you're twisting to the left And if you can, you're even going to let your eyes turn to the left. As you unwind, bring the soles of the feet together again, but this time you're going to slide them way out in front of you, way out in front of you. Still with the soles of the feet touching, but they're as far away as you can get them. Clasp the feet or ankles, lift your chest, and just kind of start to nestle your rib cage down between your thighs. Now you can maintain this sort of arched back here, or you're welcome to let your head move down towards your feet if that feels comfortable. You just kind of feel your way into what the best version of this is for you. Come on up from that. Extend your legs into a nice wide V. Just taking a moment to come in to Upavishta Konasana, which is this wide angled seated forward bend. So keep your legs very active. Your feet are flexed. Your toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Don't let them be lazy and rotate in or out. And then lengthen your spine forward. So you're trying to pull your chest forward. You want to be really mindful of not hunching and rounding your back. You want to keep it long and straight. It's a great place to reconnect with your breath if you've kind of lost that. One more breath here. And then we'll just bring ourselves back up. Bring the legs together. Give them a good wiggle. Now from here, as we come onto our backs, we're going to rock back and forth a couple of times. And if you're able, on your third rock back, you're going to rock all the way back like into a plow pose. Hold that for a couple of breaths and then step it up into a shoulder stand. So for anybody who can't do that or shouldn't do that because of neck or shoulder issues or any other issue, just do bridge or some other variation. Otherwise, what I'd like you to do is just rock back and forth a couple of times, and then the third time legs are up and over. So we rock back, we rock forward, we rock back, we rock forward, and this last time we rock back and we let the legs come up and overhead. So if your feet do not touch the floor, you're going to want to keep your hands on your hips. If your feet do touch the floor, you can extend your arms for a moment. Regardless of whether your hands are on your hips or on the floor, try and fold your shoulder blades together and get the elbows close, because then we're going to put our hands on our mid-back, if we can reach it, and step up into a shoulder stand. 3 slow breaths here. And then you can begin to slowly roll yourself down, hug your knees in, and this time you're going to rock side to side. So we're going to keep the left knee hugged into the chest and extend the right leg all the way out onto the ground. Just hug that left knee for a moment. If twisting feels okay in your body, I'd like you to do a deeper variation of this twist today. If you can, you're going to hook the toes of your left foot kind of on the inside or behind your right knee or thigh, and use your right hand on the outside of your left knee to actually pull it all the way over to the floor if you can. And then allow your left arm to open back out to the left. Couple more breaths. On your next inhale, come on back up, and as you exhale, hug your left knee in. And then you can go ahead and bring your right knee up to meet it. If you need to rock, of course you may. And then we'll keep the right knee hugged in, extend the left leg out onto the ground. Hold your right knee for a moment, wind relieving pose. And then if you can, you're gonna hook the toes of your right foot inside or behind that left knee or thigh. Your left hand is on the outside of that right leg, pulling it all the way over to the floor if you can, and then allowing the right arm to open back out to the right. Head turns to the right a little bit if that works for you. And then we just breathe. One more breath. On your next inhale, come on back up. Hug both of your knees in. Rock side to side if you like. Reach down, grab the outside edges of your feet, and enjoy a little bit of happy baby time. So just kind of see how your hips, your low back, and your hamstrings are feeling. Play around with range of motion. Just kind of release anything remaining that didn't get released in your practice. And then let's go ahead and bring our feet down to the mat. Ankles and knees are together. Just a couple of drops in each direction with the knees, and coordinate that with your breathing. So both knees are going to drop to one side as you exhale. You'll bring them back up to the center on an inhale and drop them the opposite direction on an exhale. We'll do it maybe 2 more times on each side. When you feel like the time is right, you're going to allow the knees to drop open away from each other and the soles of the feet to touch. As you inhale next, press your low back into the mat. So it's a posterior tilt of the pelvis. In other words, you're taking any curve out of the low back. You're removing any space between you and your mat. Hold that for 1 more breath. And then the next time you exhale, you're just going to completely relax. The natural arch in your back will return. There will be space between you and the mat. And then 1 more time, we'll remove it. So as you inhale, press your low back into the mat, flatten the back. And then as you exhale, release it. Extend your legs, separate your feet, bring your hands below your shoulders. Let everything relax, including your face. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. Big exhale through the mouth. And begin the sweet, sweet journey of settling into Shavasana. So a lot of times we think of Shavasana as the reward for our practice, and it is for sure, but it's also the point of our practice. It is not only our peak pose, but the most challenging pose. Mr. Iyengar said that on a scale of 1 to 10, Shavasana is an 11 in difficulty. And we all think we have it aced, But truly, it is the most challenging pose because it requires us to maintain pure awareness, pure presence without judging, analyzing, creating stories around anything that's happening. So we simply rest and stay present. And the way we do that without really getting caught up in our thoughts is we stay in our bodies and we stay with our breath. So usually when we get caught up in thinking, we're traveling back to the past or zooming ahead to the future. Very rarely are we in the present moment if we're actually thinking. So to avoid getting lured away by our thoughts, we stay anchored in our bodies. So I encourage you to feel the sensations in your body, to be very conscious of your body on the mat, on the floor, to be conscious of any physical sensation. And of course, that changes moment by moment. So that should be plenty to capture your attention and keep you present. But if that doesn't work for you, you can also use your breath. If you simply pay attention to your breathing, it will keep you in the moment because you're only breathing right now. So maintaining pure presence, pure awareness in this moment without being lured away, we work on progress in Shavasana. And remember, if you catch yourself thinking, if your mind has just wandered off, it's okay. You're human. None of us are perfect. We're only looking for progress, not perfection. So you simply come back to your body. You simply come back to your breath. You simply come back to the present moment. You should already be very present in your body and with your breath. So simply start moving your fingers and toes a little. Start deepening your breath. Big deep inhale as you spread fingers and toes, and then a big sigh as you relax fingers and toes. Another deep breath in as you stretch, however you want to, whatever feels good, but then again, sigh through your mouth and relax. Bend your knees however you need to. That includes hugging them in if that's what your body requires. And then find your way onto your right side if you're able to. Pause there for a moment. And then simply press yourself back up into sitting. We begin today's practice, as always, in a seated position. And so I'd like you to just take a moment and kind of check in with all of those same things that we checked in at the beginning of the practice and notice if anything's different. So does your body feel different now than when it did an hour ago? Is your breath any different than it was an hour ago? Even if that just means you're more conscious of it. What about emotions and the thoughts that create them? What is your energy like? What is your sense of connection, particularly to yourself? Just kind of notice those things. And if anything at all is different, pardon me, then congratulations. That's something that you did for you. That's what this practice does for all of us. So to end out our sort of solar themed practice for this morning, we're going to do a couple of bhakti breathing. That's that really forceful exhale that's caused by contracting abdominal muscles. And it's a very passive inhale. Pardon me. You have to have a lengthened front body for this breath to work. So if your hips are tight and you're hunched, a couple of bhakti isn't going to work. Feel free to sit in a chair, sit on a bolster or blanket, or change your seated position if you need to. You want to feel length in the abdominal muscles. We'll do 2 rounds of this today. Remember, if you're experienced with it, you're trying to get to an inhale and an exhale per second. If it's just not that kind of day, then you go whatever speed you need to go. But the impetus for the exhale comes from the abdomen. Lifting up through the chest, relaxing the shoulders, and this is all nose breathing, by the way. Take a deep breath into your nose. Big exhale through the nose. Take another inhale. Breathe half of the air out and begin your first round. Big inhale, arms up. Spread your fingers wide, hold your breath. Exhale, float the arms down. Inhale. Breathe out half of your air and begin round 2. Big inhale, arms up. Spread the fingers, hold your breath. Exhale, float the arms down. Allow your palms to come together in front of your heart in a gesture of gratitude. Gratitude for your strong, healthy, flexible body. Gratitude for these deep, beautiful breaths that we are given moment by moment. Gratitude for our minds, our hearts, our energy, our prana, the life force that we all share. Gratitude for whatever it is that's larger than us, that brought us all here and together. And take one more huge inhale. Big sigh. Palms to the forehead. Just reminding us to be present as much as possible, to show up for our lives. Palms to our mouths, reminding us to speak our truth, even when challenging, but to speak it kindly so it can be heard. And palms to our hearts, reminding us to keep our hearts open. We always, always want to try and experience and practice compassion, kindness, and love. Namaste.